Hello, Laura Gathers here of Love Heart of Marriage Coaching, and I want to talk to you about the importance of enduring the rounds of marriage, or better yet, how to endure the rounds of marriage. As you all know, if you've been married for 1 day or a million days, you know that each round that you face in marriage is going to be different. What you had to endure when you were dating is different than what you had to endure once you said I do, right? There are different emotions, there are different situations that we have to encounter. And guess what? Each round is important for your growth. Each round that you face is going to allow you to grow and develop into who God has called you to be. But there are three things that I want you to consider in every single round that you face in your relationship. And the first thing that I want you to consider is your strength. Strength in the part of where are you willing to acknowledge that you need strength. Because in order to endure, in order to build your endurance, you need strength training, you need conditioning, and then you actually have to practice running your race. So, what can we learn from this? 2 Corinthians chapter 12 verses 9 through 10 tells us, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in your weakness. And then as you continue to go on later on in verse 10, it says, for when I am weak, then I am strong. So in order for you to become strong, you first have to admit your weaknesses. How do you do that? You assess. You ask the people around you, where do I need to grow? What do I need to do to become a better person? And if you're married, you get to ask your spouse that question, right? So once you have acknowledged the areas in which you need to grow and which you need strength, then there are things that you need to do to ensure that you are getting that strength. In the natural, you would eat protein and you would monitor your diet and you would lift weights. And the same is true for your spirit. What are you consuming? Are you consuming a lot of junk? Is that allowing you to grow? Are you consuming reality TV, or you're getting advice from people who are in very poor relationships? Or are you consuming the word of God and you're seeking proper mentorship where people are wise and they're willing to pour into your marriage and they care just as much about you as they do about your marriage as they do about you? So when they give you advice, it's going to be beneficial for your marriage and not just for you. And then what are you doing in regards to weights? Because you can't lift the same weight all your life and expect for your muscles to grow. You have to start adding some things on to that. You got to start adding 2.5 pounds, 5 pounds, 10 pounds to ensure that you are developing the muscle mass. So you're going to have to start learning how to bridle your tongue. You're going to learn how to speak the things in a way that are going to build up and edify your spouse. You're going to learn how to healthily deal with conflict in a healthy way. You're going to learn all the things that are necessary for you to grow in your relationship. So whatever areas that you've acknowledged that you are weak and what you need strength, then you need to take the steps to get the resources and the skill sets that you need to grow in that area. The next thing is conditioning. What is the condition of your heart concerning your relationship, concerning your spouse? And some of you may be saying, well, I don't know what the condition of my heart is. Well, I'm going to give you 2 scriptures to help you assess what the condition is. The first one is Proverbs 23:7. As a man so thinketh of himself, so is he. Within himself, so is he. What are you thinking about when you're all alone and you're pondering on your relationship? What thoughts come to your mind? That's how you feel. That's the condition of your heart. So as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he, right? There we go. Then the second one is, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. What are you saying about your spouse? What are you saying about your relationship? Because whatever you are thinking or whatever you are saying, that shows the condition of your heart. And that's not to make you feel, that's not to bring on condemnation, but that's to bring on conviction, because conviction allows you to grow. It allows you to know where you need to grow anyway, right? So when you acknowledge the condition of your heart, you know where to start. You know that, you know what, I am feeling a little bit of resentment, so I need to go deal with resentment. I am feeling anxious in this relationship, so we need to put some things in place so that I feel more safe and secure in this relationship. So whatever you are feeling, right, whatever you are going through, then you get to know where you need to start. That's what's vital. That's what's important, knowing where to start. And then lastly, you have to go run your race. Run your race. You are not equipped to run someone else's race. You're only equipped to run yours. So what are you going to do? You're going to run your race, and you're not going to compare your relationship or your race or where you are in your relationship to anyone else's. You're going to focus heavily on what you need to do to make sure that you finish your race strong. And guess what else you're not going to do? You're not going to run your leg of the race and then try and run your spouse's leg of the race. You're going to trust that the same work that you're doing, they will do to ensure that your marriage crosses that finish line, to ensure that you hear well done in regards to what you have accomplished within your marriage. But when you try to run your race and your spouse's race, or when you try and run someone else's race, you end up frustrated, you end up exhausted, and you end up losing because you are focused on the wrong thing. But when you run your race, you're able to assess how much better you've gotten in a particular area, how much your marriage has grown in that particular area, and then you're able to reassess what you need to do to ensure that your marriage continues to grow and flourish. So each round that you face in your marriage requires you being able to acknowledge your weaknesses so that they can become your strengths, to assess the condition of your heart, and then go run your race to the best of your ability, not expecting perfection, but understanding that progression will take place as long as you are doing the proper strength training and conditioning. This is what I wanted to share with you about how to endure the rounds of marriage, because each round is going to present something different to you. And the round of marriage that you're facing is going to be different than the person next to you. Even if you're in similar seasons, it's still going to be different because you are different people. And once we acknowledge that and once we accept that, then we're able to focus on what we've been called to do within our own relationship. We're able to develop the marital mission statement that we need so that we can accomplish the purpose that God has for us as husband and wife. But as long as we are ignoring the condition of our heart and not willing to assess where we are weak, the longer we are going to be running on a treadmill versus a track. We're going to be at the same place where we started. No matter how fast, no matter how long we run, still going to be in the same place. But when you are able to acknowledge your weaknesses and assess the condition of your heart, then you're able to run your race, and progression will happen in every area, right? You'll get stronger, you'll get faster, and you'll get victorious. So run your race, endure the round that you're in, and finish strong. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, put them in the comment section, and I will get to them. But until then, remember, here at Love Harder Marriage Coaching, I encourage you to attack the issues and not each other. So no matter what round you're facing in your relationship, choose to attack the issues and not each other. Have a great day.